Welcome to the Hormone Hub, your go-to source for the conversations every woman in her 40s and 50s needs to have. I'm your host, Kylie Pinwill, your nutritionist helping you navigate your way through perimenopause, menopause and beyond so you can say goodbye to the endless fatigue, unexplained weight gain, hot flushes, PMS, mood changes and more that come on this hormonal roller coaster. If you missed the memo or think this is only for women of a certain age, ladies, it's time to think again. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Don't forget to hit subscribe so you don't miss any of my latest episodes, which are released every week. Share it with your friends, your sweaty sisters. The more we talk, the more we help each other. Hello, ladies, and welcome to the Hormone Hub. Today, we are going to talk about what is about to hit the market and hit our inboxes and hit us in the face big time. And that is, it's springtime, which means detox season. Now, I personally, hate the word detox. I also hate the word cleanse. I also hate the word shred, all of that sort of stuff, because it kind of, implies that we're sort of dirty on some level. And, we're really not. So, but having said that, sometimes we can do with a bit of a circuit breaker, a bit of a kickstart. So today I'm going to talk about what we can do just, as in here in the Southern Hemisphere, as we're coming out of winter into spring, what we can do to kind of recharge ourselves a little bit. So, and likewise for our listeners in the Northern Hemisphere, that change of season, so coming out of summer into fall or autumn can be, it's a nice time to sort of shift things up a bit. So, if you've been feeling a bit sluggish, a bit frumpy, a bit bloated, a bit slow, here's sort of some of the things that we can do and, things that you can sort of take on at home without having to jump into some kind of drastic cleanse. Because if we did, I always think detox, and what comes to mind is, the celebrity lemon detox, and they're all losing, 5 kilos, 8 kilos, blah, blah, blah. But, seriously, they're having water with lemon juice and a bit of cayenne pepper in it. That's it. So, yes, of course, they're dropping crazy weight. And when you're not eating things like that, your body isn't getting the nutrients it needs to detox properly. And what do? The first thing you come off a detox is, hey, can you hand me a coffee? Or maybe that's just me. But anyway, so do we need to go on a detox? My view is we don't. Okay, so rather what we want to do is how can we make this sort of something that just fits into life? So I think, we're better off sort of approaching it as, let's just cut back. So cut back on, overindulging all the comfort foods and, choose to consume well. So whether that's foods, whether that's, people we're surrounded by, whether it's the news that we're watching, whether it's products that we're cleaning with, what you eat, what you listen to, who you speak to, what you read. Sometimes it really pays to kind of mindfully pause and just check in with what you've been consuming on all levels. So, when we're sort of talking toxins and, eliminating toxins, a lot of these toxins in our body exist because of mental, emotional, and hormonal imbalances that come from essentially an unhealthy lifestyle. So, environmental toxins that we're exposed to, poor diet, so obviously our processed foods, sugars, dehydration, not drinking enough water, lack of sleep, lack of exercise, chemically loaded skincare, as well as, toxic thoughts, toxic relationships, people we surround ourselves who bring us down. And, these all contribute to a build-up over time. So food choices are a big part of our toxicity. So what we want to do is, if you're looking at making a shift, why not go towards whole foods? So if it grew, if it lived, it's a whole food. If it has one ingredient, it's a whole food. If it comes from a packet and has 30 ingredients, it's not a whole food. So that's what we want to move away from. So And when we're eating whole foods, we're, consuming nutrition without excess sugars, pesticides, additives, processing chemicals, thickeners, you name it, all the things that they put in. So our body is naturally designed to be in a constant state of detoxification. And, we detoxify things and we eliminate these. And our body's actually really efficient at doing this. It does it through our lungs, through our colon, our kidneys, our liver, our skin. But when our body starts to feel overloaded, it can need a bit of a helping hand. So we'll have a look at, what we can do about that. So essentially, when we look at sort of detox, I tend to sort of look at it, particularly for women and from a hormonal perspective, your liver and your digestion. So, our liver is responsible for removing toxins from our blood, as well as, removing excess hormones. It breaks down and gets rid of excess cholesterol. And as well as doing all that sort of stuff, it processes the nutrients from our food and it helps us regulate our metabolism. So our liver is really central to our body's detox procedures. So, if our liver is a little sluggish, it's going to be, generally we're going to feel sluggish. Okay. So it's going to be harder to lose weight. It's going to be, just harder to be healthy, So if things, you think that things might be a little sluggish, we want to give it a break from, sugar-loaded foods and alcohol. So, that's probably where I would start. And again, you can jump in and go all or nothing, which is awesome. But if you also think of it as, cut down, like reduce the load that you put on your liver, particularly if you're looking at sort of a more sustainable long-term approach, cutting down that load on your liver can help. So if you are a daily wine drinker, how can we cut that down to 1 or 2 days a week? If you are a 2 or 3 cups of coffee a day girl, double shot lattes. How can we cut that down? So can we cut it down to single shots? Can we cut it down to, 1 or 2 coffees instead of 2 or 3? So you can see, just by making those small sort of subtle changes, it can actually have a really big impact by reducing the load. So that's sort of all part of sort of reducing the load on our liver. And, it's directly connected to our digestive system as well. So our, digestion and what we eat fuels our metabolism. So that cycle of clearing out the toxins and supporting our liver and getting rid of that waste product, as in our poo, it just helps our body work more effectively. So if we have a look at, our colon or our bowel, that's one of the most important pathways for us excreting waste. Okay, so what we want to aim for is we want 1 or 2 well-formed bowel movements every single day. So this is the best way to give your toxins a one-way ticket straight out of your body. Okay, so, and as most toxic buildup comes from the food that we eat, the fact that we can eliminate that well makes a huge difference. So if you are feeling a little bloated, a little constipated, or you're the other way and diarrhea, or you swing between constipation and diarrhea, I want you to sort of have a look at, your fiber intake and also your hydration levels. So when we're talking fiber, this helps, bind our food. It binds the toxins as well, and it clears out that colon by, making our stool softer and easier to pass. So you should be able to go sit on the loo, pass a bowel movement. It's well formed, easy to pass, happy days. You shouldn't be straining. You shouldn't be sitting there for hours, and you should feel fully evacuated as well. So some things that you can do here is eat plenty of leafy greens. So all of our leafy greens, it doesn't matter really in what form. So we can anything from baby spinach to rocket to broccoli to, cauliflower. Our Asian veggies are amazing. All of those all contain some really good fiber. You can add in some soaked chia seeds, so in the form of chia puddings, so they're super easy to eat. Flaxseed is beautiful for women as well because that sort of helps clear out those excess hormones. Psyllium husks are good, like my sort of IBS clients, I always use products with PHGG in it, so partially hydrogenated guar gum. I think that I've got it wrong, I'm sure. Anyway, PHGG. So those things can all sort of help that, rich in, fiber. Instead of things like, including leeks and oats, sweet potato, these are all really rich in prebiotic fibers. So prebiotic fibers is also found in resistant starch, and this helps feed our good gut bugs. Okay, so it plays a really important role in keeping our gut health good. So up your fiber and definitely make sure you're well hydrated. Now, when we're looking at, if we're sort of considering doing a bit of a tidy up or a detox or a cleanse, whatever you want to call it, we also sort of can consider fasting as well. So this can be a really powerful sort of detox technique when it's done well. Okay, so it can help reset and sort of reboot your immune system. It can definitely, fasting gives your digestive system and also your liver a break from, constantly having to digest food. So it allows your body a chance to sort of rest and repair naturally. Plus, it can also help control, sugar cravings because you're not constantly consuming food. So you're not having those big spikes in your blood sugar. Now, when we're sort of like thinking of fasting, I, said this before, it doesn't need to be crazy big long fasts. A 12-hour fast can be just as effective. So giving your body a break for that 12 hours is enough. So also the food that we consume, it should, if we're looking at tidying things up a bit, it should provide function and health benefits. So think of this, when you're shopping for food or when you're preparing your meals, if you are going to fuel your body and your mind, so, good choices will help ensure you're providing your cells with the right energy to live well, be energetic and feel well. So the ingredients, can also affect your mood and your hormones. So we want to avoid those insulin spikes and those crashes. So some of the things you can do, when it comes to food is and helping support that digestive system is to add in some, spices to your meals, things that will stimulate your digestive tract. So, chili, cayenne pepper, they're all quite stimulatory spices and can all sort of definitely help. Be aware of, are you getting enough fiber? Are you filling half your plate with green leafy veggies or salad veggies? Because this, again, it helps your bowels eliminate those toxins and that waste, but you do need to be drinking plenty of water alongside this. So, getting those 2 litres a day or, 8 glasses of water a day. If you don't digest salad veggies particularly well, soup and slow-cooked veggies, in a slow-cooked meal can go a long way to helping your body digest those. And then, look, if you are experiencing uncomfortable digestive symptoms, definitely, look for some kind of fiber supplement because it certainly can help. And again, when you're looking for supplements, read the ingredients. If you are going for something like, Metamucil has been around forever, but read the ingredients. It is rubbish. There are far better things that you could be having. So psyllium husks, like I said, is one. Not everyone can tolerate psyllium husks, but certainly chia seeds, flax seeds, PHGG, they're all sort of really good options. So you've got to find what works for you. So when you are eating, a part of your digestive process is how you are eating. So make sure you sit down, make sure you're not eating on the go. When we sort of sit down, when we have cutlery, when we look at our meal, we smell our meal, we're more inclined to chew and, consume our food a lot more slowly and a lot more mindfully rather than just shoveling it in. It's good to sip on warm water with, you can add some fresh lemon, some ginger throughout the day. That's really good at soothing that digestive system. Can also help, if you are mindfully reducing the amount of food that you're eating, it can also help get over those initial sort of hunger pangs. And, just remember, you don't actually have to have a meal every time it's considered to be mealtime. So tune into, is your body telling you that it's hungry? Or are you just eating lunch because it's 1 o'clock? Or are you just bored, so you just feel like a snack? Okay, so sort of tune into how much you're eating, and, we don't have to eat just because it's, a certain time on the clock. Now, we also want to, like I said, consume foods as close to their natural state as possible. So the less processing, the less it has been mucked around with, the more nutrient benefit and the more benefit it is going to give our body. All right. So when we sort of, are also thinking, detoxing, think about, the thoughts we think and the thoughts we tell ourselves and the words we tell ourselves, because the mind is an incredibly powerful tool. And, the thoughts we tell ourselves can, manifest within our cells. So it's important to, take care to speak kindly to yourself and to fuel your soul with love and support. Okay, so some of the ways that we can do this is, start off the day just with, 3 things that you're grateful for, or, pause and meditate, if you can, just ground your thoughts, be present. Now, what this does is it helps sort of release our, feel-good endorphins. And this helps create a feeling of well-being, and it can lower our stress levels. And if we have reduced levels of stress, we don't have that constant flux of cortisol floating around our body, signaling our body to store fat. So, just sort of being grounded, being still, being mindful can, certainly reduce those cortisol levels. So our cells feed on the words and actions of others. So also it's important, surround yourself with people who uplift and support you, not the ones who drag you down, okay? We don't need to be around those people. So remember, when we're stressed, that increases our inflammation, and inflammation increases our chance of disease, okay? So we don't want that. So we just want to take a step back and calm the farm. All right, so then the last thing we'll sort of cover is our skin. So our skin is our largest organ, which plays a critical role in any sort of detox regime. So we can reduce waste through sweating. So get moving, get that heart pumping, sweat, it's okay. So exercise and moving our body is a vital part of, moving blood around. It stimulates our sweat glands, and it helps expel any sort of internal toxicity, as well as it is good for our mental health. It clears the head. So one way, if you are not a big fan of getting sweaty and exercising, or a way to sort of speed things up, is jump in an infrared sauna. So when we increase that core body temperature, we stimulate the body's natural defense system, which is our immune system. So when we combine this with that therapeutic infrared light, it can help hydrate our skin, it increases our circulation, reduces inflammation, it improves sleep, as well as, release those stored toxins from our fat cells. So this all helps with that elimination process. And I know for a fact that, one of my clients listens to my podcast in the sauna. So hello, Glenys. I hope you're enjoying it. Thinking of you right now. Wishing we're in the sauna with you. And it's also important to know, what chemicals are you putting on your skin? So, this sort of, and we don't sort of think twice about what we're brushing our teeth with, what deodorant we're using, what moisturizer we're using, hair care, all that sort of stuff. So, we're giving our skin more toxicity to expel, and there are lots of natural alternatives to choose from. We don't have to become stinky, BO-ridden hippies. There's so many products now that don't have those high sort of chemicals, which can definitely disrupt our hormones and, so many knock-on effects. So, we can get them in the supermarket. We can get them quite sort of well priced over the internet as well. So, there's really no reason. We need to start getting better at reading our labels. and exfoliating our bodies. That can help with that detox process as well. So it is, a new season. We are coming into spring, we are coming into autumn, we are coming into fall, wherever you happen to be living. And a new season is a great chance to, reset your body. So, take mindful steps, and I sort of think of, detox holistically. Okay, so it's not just about the lemon detox. It's not just about a juice cleanse. It's our mind, it's our body, it's our skin, it's, how we move, what we think, so many parts of it. So if you are ready for a bit of a circuit breaker, I am running my 10-day kickstart next week. So the link to sign up will be in the show notes. It will also be on my website. It will also be in the Facebook group. And if you're on the email list, I will email you the link as well. Now, what we do through the 10 days is we systematically go through everything that we just talked about. So we reduce that load on your liver. We, get back to whole foods. We also incorporate, how we can change those thought patterns, how we can sort of look at our stress, how we can look after our skin better, how we can look after our digestive system a bit better. So if you would like to join me, I would love to have you. And we start as a group on Monday. So that is Monday the 5th of September. We will start together. And yeah, I would love you to join me. It's fun. Everything's included. So that's all your recipes, all the guides, your meal plans, your shopping lists, like everything you need for the 10 days. It is $27. So yeah, it's not going to break the bank. So jump in if this is something that you would like to do. And, don't think of it as a detox. Think of it as a circuit breaker. It's, giving your body a break. It's a fresh start. We're not going to solve all of your health issues and all of your hormonal issues in 10 days, but it is a great circuit breaker to get you started. All right. Well, I hope you've enjoyed today's podcast, and yeah, thank you for listening. And I look forward to having you hopefully with me in the Kickstart. All right. Thanks, everyone. Bye. Thank you for taking the time to listen today. You can head on over to the show notes at kyliepinwell.com/podcast, where you'll find all the links, and I have a little bonus surprise waiting for you. Before we go, it would mean the world to me if you head on over to your favourite podcasts channel, subscribe and leave a review. Make sure to screenshot it, DM it to me so I can thank you personally. Then stay tuned for next week's episode. Can't wait to see you there.